probably within the first maybe month or so. And my dad was so curious about this phenomenon. He was like, well, and he absolutely loved his father so much who had passed. And he was like, well, if you can talk to an angel, can you bring in my dad? And I remember thinking, God, I don't want to disappoint him, but I don't know. I've never even met him. I was 4 when he died. I didn't know him. And then I hear my grandfather come and say, I would love to talk to your father if you would let me, but there's some things that you have to do. I have to do. He's like, we have to wear a blue sweater. And his color apparently was blue. And you have to go up into this certain room that's painted blue. And I feel more comfortable in the frequency of blue. And it'll be easier for me to come in. So I said to my dad, okay, no, this is weird, but we're going to go up to this bedroom and you have to wear a blue sweater. And I'm going to wear a blue sweater. And I'm going to try my best. And my dad was kind of this big, strong guy and he had big hands. And he would shake your hand. He really meant it. It would like, he would squeeze it really tight. He was kind of big. And at the time I was 20 and thin. And I sit down and my dad's across from me. And I just am like, okay, I'm letting go. I'm just going to see what happens here. If my grandfather will come and talk to my dad. And there's kind of a lot of pressure, you know. And all of a sudden, I feel my grandfather come into my body and I feel elongated because he was tall and I feel taller. And then I can feel his energy come into my hand. And he goes to reach to shake my dad's hand, who's kind of this strong guy. And he shakes and holds my dad's hand so tight that it hurts my dad. But it's through me, through young 20-year-old Kelly.
Right.
Just feel tears coming down my dad's eyes, like, oh my God, this is my father. Because this young girl could never shake my hand that would hurt in a million years, like
Right.
be that tight, you know, like all this
Hmm.
strength came in. And then he started to talk to my dad, and it was incredibly emotional. And my dad, and this is really a personal story, but I'll share it because at that moment, it just, my dad, when he was maybe, I don't know, 8 years old, he was in the bathroom and there was like a glass window at the top. And he was on a stool and he looked out through the window into the kitchen and he could see my grandmother, his mother, kissing a man who wasn't his father. And at that moment, he just felt this overwhelming sense of shame. He loved his father so much and he just felt this incredible sense of betrayal. And he decided he would never forgive his mother and he hated his mother and his mother was this horrible human being. And he held this intense like grudge to her and she had also passed. And he never told anybody this and I didn't know this, but he held it really deep in his heart. He had told my mother, but it had never been shared with any of us kids. It was this thing. And my grandfather came in and he said, I'm asking you to soften your heart. You hold such hatred toward your mother, to my wife, and you must forgive her. And my dad, he's like, I could never forgive her. I love you so much. How could she do that to you? And then my grandfather said, well, do you remember that your mother and I had separate bedrooms? And he said, yes. And they said, why do you think that is? Well, because you found out that she was cheating on you and you wanted to leave her. And he said, no, because back then it's something that couldn't be said or told, but I had a different affiliation. I was gay. But yet I married and had children because that was what I was supposed to do. But your grandmother and I knew that and we had an agreement and she was in love with this man and I let her have that love.